Greetings everyone, I'm Sherilyn Whitestar, Energy Medicine Practitioner and Mystic. Welcome. Just spent a quarter of an hour doing a video to find that it didn't record properly, so we'll try again. Hopefully it works this time. Welcome. For those that don't know me, as I said, I'm an Energy Medicine Practitioner and Mystic, and particularly over the last 6 months or so, I've been focusing my work more on working in the healing and working in the collective energies. And sometimes I feel to just pop on and have a spiritual conversation, share what I've been experiencing or what's going on in my life, on the hope that it may assist or help others understand what they're seeing or sensing and going through. As always, take what's relevant for you and just discard the rest. And timing is irrelevant. Whenever you see this, just because it's happening or I'm experiencing it now, doesn't mean it has to be happening now for you. It may have already happened or it may happen in the future. Time is irrelevant in the spiritual realms. Alright, so just wanted to talk a bit more about the rebalancing of the masculine and feminine, which is has been ongoing, obviously, but particularly has been very strong over the last month or so, particularly with new waves of twin flames, high vibrational energy connections, sort of a wave of those coming in the next few months. So there's a lot of work being done up there in the spiritual realms with the rebalancing and the healing. A lot of focus at the moment that I'm working on and seeing is in the masculine energies and aspects. And as always, we all have feminine and masculine within us. So this can be working on the healing within the masculine within ourselves, or with somebody else that we're connected to, or had some relationship or connection to, whatever form that relationship has taken. There's a lot of healing going on. There's a lot of what I'm seeing is forgiveness of the masculine energies. There's a lot of energies I'm seeing coming in the spiritual realms. I've also had people coming in my physical life wanting to put things right, make peace, and and that can be a bit unsettling. Suddenly you're confronted with something you have to deal with things that have gone on between the two of you, and there's been a lot of hurt or a lot of pain, and so that's often been challenging. And I'm seeing this so strongly as well in the spiritual realms with what I'm doing, and particularly for the women who have had a huge amount of disrespect, abandonment issues. For me, I call it hollow words, empty promises. Experience a lot of this in this lifetime and in other lifetimes, and doing a lot of work. I've had to clear a lot of that back down the lines and ancestry lines and other lifetimes, and clear that out. So there's been a huge amount of forgiveness, and letting go in that, and I've had to look at embracing the masculine side of myself, stepping up more and protecting myself and drawing on the masculine side of myself, and bringing that into balance. And there's so as I said, it can be the masculine within ourselves, or masculine energies externally, whatever our physical bodies is, and that masculine, and can even be with a male and a female, where the female is stepped up so strongly into a masculine. She's very controlling and demanding, controlling, manipulative, or whatever, and stomps all over the male. So it can go either way. So your gender is irrelevant. There's a lot of forgiveness within myself of my masculine for not being strong enough at times to stand up and say no, and go, why was I so stupid? Why did I allow that to happen? Where was my self-confidence? Where was this? Where was those masculine aspects within myself to deal with that at the time, instead of looking to somebody else to try and fix it or deal with it for me? Why could I not stand up and deal with it? So that's, also, part of the healing of the masculine. It's those aspects within ourselves as well, where we have to take responsibility for our actions instead of blaming somebody else. Doesn't excuse the behaviour or actions of somebody else, but we have to look internally and take responsibility for ourselves. And so that's, like, for me, it was embracing the masculine and going, I'm sorry you've been so neglected here. I'll move some of the feminine energy aside to allow space for you to come in and bring myself back into balance. And that's part of the forgiveness and the healing, that there is a place for you in my life, and I acknowledge you and embrace you and welcome you, into that integration within myself, to bring my self back into that, that balanced place. So it can be, a lot of internal work, and we have to find that peace within ourselves, the light and the shadow of who we are. And it's only when we've found that peace within ourselves can then we find peace externally with others that we felt have done us wrong or done injustices to us, in whatever form or way that has taken place. And this is what I'm seeing at the moment. There's, in the spiritual realms, there's a lot of masculine energies asking for forgiveness and wanting to put things right. And in my personal life, I've sort of had situations come up recently where, there's had to been some pretty open or frank discussions or sorting out of things that have happened between, and making peace. And this is a real important stage we're at the moment, is in part of that forgiveness, making peace within ourselves. And we have to get past the belief systems that if we forgive someone, that means that we continue to accept that behaviour in our lives, or we're saying it was okay to have done that. And that's the belief that's false, that we have to learn to let go of. And the forgiveness process is hugely about a gift to ourselves. It's saying, I no longer choose to carry that pain. I no longer choose to give my power away to you. So every time I think about that situation or that belief or that person, I feel pain or anger, because that's the soul fragment. And that's given that piece of my soul, my power, away to that situation or that person. So forgiveness is saying, hang on, I want that back. I want my soul back. I want that piece of me back. You can't have that control, that power over me. And I choose to forgive because I understand that that behaviour or that action or that belief comes from an unhealed wound. And it doesn't excuse that behaviour, whether it's somebody else's or mine. It just helps us understand it. But the forgiveness process says, well, you know what? I don't want that taking up space within me. I don't want to be lugging that around with me. I don't want to give my power away to somebody else. I claim that back. And I choose to let that go. And in that forgiveness, I forgive myself for not having the self-love and self-respect and healthy boundaries in place to have allowed that in the first place. And that's part of the forgiveness process. And as I said, it's a gift that we choose to give ourselves, and in claiming back our power and our soul. Okay, so a large part of what I'm seeing at the moment in the masculine healing process is they're actually asking for assistance from the feminine. Now, that may physically be feminine, but it may be the feminine aspects within themselves saying it's okay to go out and cry if you're a masculine or a male or whatever form your gender, that it's okay to cry, that society has said that this is, if you're in a male body, you can only behave this way, and that's not okay. And this is the belief in the systems we're having to let go of. And the masculine is asking at this time very strongly for the assistance of the feminine. And as I say, it can be the feminine within themselves needing to step up and say, it's okay to feel your emotions. I'm here for you. And it's okay to feel angry, but it's what you do with it that's the issue. Some of them may actually have, feminines they need to go to and say, hey, look, I'm sorry. Can you help me with this? Or can we talk about what's happened or what's gone? Can we make peace between us? I need to put things right. And what I'm getting very strongly is that the feminine that have been so wounded and hurt in the past, a lot of them have put up huge, strong, and this is issues that I've had to look at within myself as well. So, there's no judgment on this because I always come from my own understanding and experiences, is that we have to be careful we haven't put such strong boundaries up in our place, in place around our hearts and in our space, that there's no space for forgiveness or compassion for those that want to make peace and put things right. That if there's people there or ones that want to come and we're not so cold and shut off, that they're too scared to come in and approach the feminine, because we've spent so long fighting those issues and our hurts and pains from the masculine and claiming back our power, that a lot of the feminine have now shut the masculine out. And this has gone, it's just unbalanced in the opposite direction. So this is what we need to look at, and part of the rebalancing is bringing it back. And again, whether it's the masculine within ourselves or the masculine, externally, that we need to allow and say, yes, I'm open to helping you assist in your healing process. I'm here for you. That doesn't mean we allow toxic relations, connectionships, or disrespect back in. Okay, so it's about being open. And as always, my favourite saying, walk with an open heart, but be not blind. And this is what I'm just getting really strongly at the moment, for the feminine. We've worked so hard on our healing and clearing out such huge wounds. Don't shut out the healing of the masculine, because this is a huge part of our role. We had to do that hard work, and I've always said that the feminine will heal first. And our role now is to assist the masculine. But the masculine must come in with respect and the right intent. But we have to be available and open to the healing of that masculine. And it starts with the healing of the masculine within ourselves. And we have to find peace and be at peace within ourselves, in both the feminine and the masculine. And it's only then, when we have that peace within ourselves, can then we find peace externally. And that's just what I've been asked to bring up at the moment, is particularly, I guess, and it probably is more to the females, but it's the feminine energies. It's just like, embrace the healing that you've done on yourself and give yourself credit for the hard work that you've done. But use that healing now to assist the masculine. Because, that's only half the work. The healing of the feminine's only half the job. It's like, it's a piece of the puzzle is still missing if the masculine aspects aren't healed. Okay, so again, it's forgiveness, is a huge thing, and that's a large, aspect and the part of that. But also, it starts with the forgiveness within ourselves, and the understanding, that you're not giving your power away. By forgiving someone, you're actually claiming your power back. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to say. I'll repost the article that I wrote a few years ago about in honour of the masculine, with this on my Facebook page, Sherilyn White Star. So that'll be there as well. So thank you for listening to my ramblings and the latest spiritual conversation, but it was important. They made it very strong that I needed to put this out there. Often it's only one person that needs to hear it, and that's all that matters. That whoever hears this or gets from it what they need, that's what counts, and that's why I do this. So thank you again for listening, and take care. God bless, and we'll talk again soon. Bye. Blessing.